Grand Rise in America. My name is G.S. Brooks of the At-Risk Movement, and today is April 17th, 2021, and I got a call from one of my comrades informing me that Black Rob passed away today. Rest in power, Black Rob. I don't normally do this, but today I'm going to share a story about me first meeting Black Rob. In 2004, I came home from prison. While I was in prison, I was designing clothes, writing books, writing business proposals, and all of that. I found out one of my homeboys got put on, G.Dep. Shout out to G.Dep up top. We waiting for you to come back home, champ. You know what I'm saying? I just finished speaking to G.Dep a couple of weeks ago. And he's doing all right. He's strong. You know, his mind is strong. His body is strong. He working out. So anyway, while I was up north, I was in a box. I was sentenced to 5 years in a box. And while I'm doing that time, you know, I started writing books and designing clothes. And I'm from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So we the fashionpreneurs of the world. So I started designing things that I would like to see myself with. It turned out that I was good at it. So when I got home, I spoke to one of my boys that I considered a brother, and I told him I wanted to meet Puff. I still ain't get to meet Puff to this day, but I told him I wanted to meet Puff, and he was actually in Atlanta, Georgia at the time when I called him. So he told me to hold on, and about 10 minutes later, he like, take this number. He like, tell him that you my brother, and he gonna introduce you to Puff. So I called the number, and it was Black Rob. You know, he had that raspy voice, you know what I mean? I recognized his voice immediately, you know, and I told him who I was and whatnot. He like, all right, yo, come on down to the studio. So I go to the studio, right? And this was a funny story because, you know, I used to walk around strapped. I'm not going to pull no punches and all lies. I used to walk around strapped all the time. You know, I had some bandits out there, you know, that would rather see me 6 foot under. So I stayed with it. So I go to the studio, I call Black Rob because I try to walk in. The security was like, you know, who you come to see? And I said, I come to see Black Rob. I'm going upstairs. He like, yo, you can't just walk in the building and just walk upstairs like that. I'm like, yo, I'm here to see Black Rob. He like, nah, brother, like, you can't do that. So I stepped outside. I called Black Rob. He like, oh, you downstairs? I'm like, yeah. He like, all right, I'm going to send somebody down. He said, come up. I'm like, yo, they not letting me come up. He like, I'm going to send somebody down there right now. So I'm down there. It's cold outside, I mind you. It's winter. It's New York City. We downtown. So I'm waiting for somebody to come through. It took a few minutes and some dude came out and he was just standing there. He started smoking a cigarette. So I start smoking a cigarette and I'm like, yo, are you here? Are you Black Raw people? He like, nah. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So I continue smoking my cigarette. And he like, yo, why? Who you came to see? I'm like, I came to see Black Raw. He like, so why you don't go upstairs? I'm like, cause the dude is not letting me. He said, yeah, just go upstairs, just go upstairs. I'm like, so you Black Raw people? He like, no, he'll let you in. But he didn't say that he was Black Raw people. So I go to walk past him again, and the security like, yo, I just told you. I'm like, yo, man, like, I said to the guard, like, yo, I'm going to see Black Rob. And I looked at the dude, and he was like, you just got off the phone with Black Rob? I'm like, yeah. He like, let me see the number. I'm like, what? I'm like, you Black Raw people? He like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, all right, man. So I showed him the number. He like, yeah, that's official. So we go upstairs. I got past that. That was crazy to me. But I'm like, all right, I get past that. when I seen Rob, he recognized me immediately, even though we didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying? He's from Jefferson, I'm from Johnson Projects. And I seen him in a passing, but I never met him. I never, formally met him or anything like that. So, but when he seen me, he lit up like, oh, he like, yo, I recognize you. I'm like, yeah, I'm from Johnson, man. And so he grabbed me, he gave me a dap and all that. He was heavy on the shine, everything, he was looking good in there. It was a nice studio. So he like, yo, what's up, man? Like, what can I do for you, man? I'm like, yo, man, I'm just trying to get on. I just came home from up north doing 6 joints and I design clothes, He like, really? He like, let me see what you got. I showed him my book. I showed him one of my books. I had multiple. I had designed over 1,000 designs when I was up north in the box. So I had shit to give away. So I was like, yo, here, look at that. Yo, he started going through the book, looking at it and looking up at me like, he like, you did this? I'm like, yeah, man. He like, yo, you rich. I'm like, yeah. He like, yo, this shit is fire. I'm like, yo, good looking, my dude. He like, yo, I don't even want to give this to Puff. You know what I mean? He like, yo, I want to do this myself. So I looked at him. I'm like, you got the bread? He like, not right now. I'm working on, I got a couple of projects I'm working on. I'm like, yo, listen, I just came from up top. I need to get to the bread. I'm like, yo, if you know what I'm saying, want to do something, I don't got no problems with, making you a line and doing things simultaneously, but I need to get the bag. He like, man, I don't want to get us to Puff because Puff be playing with niggas' money. I'm like, well, yo, I'm not the one to play with, kind of money. Like, he like, y'all feeling that or whatever. I'm like, yeah, man. But I'm like, yo, I got skills. He like, yo, I can see that. He like, yo, I'm going to holler at you. You know what I mean? And what he did was he reached out to somebody from my projects and asked about me. And that was like, the dude he hollered at was one of my boys. I loved him. I loved him like family. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of told Black Rob like, yo, don't play with that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not one to be played with. And Black Rob took that to mean don't do no business with him. So he ended up not touching it at all. He called my other man, was like, yo, what's up, man? He was kind of worried, you know what I'm saying, about me. He ain't want to see me again until my man came from Atlanta, because he stopped answering my calls and all that. Because that night, he told me, yo, I'm going to introduce you to the nigga Puff tomorrow. He like, come down, bring your book, bring what you got, and I'm going to make the introductions. So when I started calling him, he wasn't answering no more of my calls, and I don't like that type of funny shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? You know what I mean? So I called my man like, yo, what's up with this nigga Black Rob, man? He not answering my calls no more. He like, yo, let me check that out, man. You know what I'm saying? He called Rob. Then he hit me back like, yo, man, that nigga scared to death. I'm like, for what? You know what I'm saying? He like, I don't know. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He like, yo, I'm coming. So he came to New York and we go back to the studio. Like, it was a funny story, man, yo. So we go back to the studio, and this time I fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? And I found out later from my boy what happened. So we go back into the studio. Rob is in his element, and we was in there heavy. You know what I'm saying? I brought my brother, Mac from Johnson, and like we, when we roll, you know what I mean? We super strong. So we in the spot, but we trying to, we being easy. We just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we around these dudes rapping, they on TV, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, once these niggas see this book, my nigga, we gonna be, you know what I'm saying, getting this bread. We gonna be getting to the bread. So, we was amped up, parlaying there for a while, but me and my boy, we went to take a break. It was loud in there. So we went out into like the staircase. And we in the staircase or whatever. and my hammer started to fall out of my waist. You know what I'm saying? So like it was like going down my leg. So I reached down, got the hammer, and I pulled it out to put it back in my waist. And when my brother seen it, he like, what the fuck is that? He like, that's a python? I'm like, nah. I'm like, it looked like it though, right? So you know, I showed him mine. He showed me his. He like, yo, look at this shit. And I'm like, oh, this shit is cute. And it was like a little, nah. I'm like, yo, that shit is way. I'm like, yo, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about that shit. And then my other boy, that came from Atlanta, he came out like, yo, what y'all niggas doing? You know what I'm saying? And we like, yo, we just talking. So he like, yo, come back in the studio. Yo, when we go anywhere, we act like it's ours. You know what I'm saying? We act like it's home. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so we go back, we go back and whatever. And while we walking towards the joint, like 3 big dudes come out of nowhere, like, excuse me, gentlemen, if y'all not bad boy artists, you know, then you gotta leave the building. They like, no disrespect, but you know, Puff said, Puff is on his way, you know, in here with his son, you know what I'm saying, Justin or whatever. And, you know, the building got to be clear from anybody that's not a bad boy artist. So I'm like, I'm looking at my man because he told me that he used to be dancing with Puff and all this type of shit. So I'm looking at him like, yo, what the fuck is this? And he looking crazy, like, what are you talking about? And he just like, yo, you know what, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So we leave. We ain't even get to tell Rob, like, you know what I'm saying, what was going on. So I found out later, you know what I'm saying? I found out a few years later after I done left, I done went out of town and whatnot, that that Puff was on a monitor because they had cameras and whatnot. And Puff seen us with the guns in the in the staircase. It was like, who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And he like, yo, get them niggas out of here. Like, yo, because, you know, I think that was the same spot where that shit happened to Tupac. So, you know, they had the right to be leery and whatnot. So, you know, I blame that on me. I fucked that package up and then I left right after. So, you know, I seen Black Rob one more time on a Humble in the Bronx, you know, at a gas station. You know, he was filling up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit. And he, you know, he showed me the love and the love was authentic. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looked a little bit like, but I'm like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And I gave him a dap, hugged him. I'm like, yo, how you doing, bro? Like, he like, I'm good, man. Like, yo, we got to get up. And he had his man take pictures of us together and all that. I don't even got those pictures. You know what I'm saying? And God bless the dead. He not even here for me to get him. You know what I'm saying? But that's my experience with the brother Black Rob. You know what I mean? You made great music, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could have really linked up. No, that wasn't even the last time I seen him, though. You know what I'm saying? But I'll save that for another time. You was a good brother, man. I know a lot of people are affected. You know, you touched a lot of people, you know, with your music. I definitely was feeling your energy and your vibe. You know what I mean? You was a true dude. You know what I'm saying? You was down to earth. And we gonna miss you, bro. We gonna miss your music. You know, I'm sad that you had to, you know, perish in the way that you did. I know that you're not suffering no more. You know what I mean? And God willing, you know what I'm saying, you reach the pearly gates with the rest of your friends and family. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they was there to wait for you. You know what I'm saying? To let you in. You know what I mean? All praise due to the Creator. You know, we know that he was sinful. A bunch of us have been sinful, but I pray that you let him in, and I pray that he's going to be all right. And I know he'll be looking over us and still inspiring us to be great. Rest in power, Black Rob, man. Like woe forever, man. It's for the hood, man. 112, 115th Street, Lexington, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Shout out Jefferson Johnson. Rest in peace, Black Rob. Died at 51. April 17th, 2021. Peace and blessings, man. My name is G.S. Brooks of the At-Risk Movement.
Y'all to put y'all up on something, man.
And I approve this message.
Yo, when you see something ill, you know what I mean? That's boom. Anything ill you see, boom. Have me a big 6 at the club, that's boom. Okay. Especially if we got the fully equipped kid on it, it's wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I had this bad chick uptown, she was had me messed up in the head, I mean. Bought the chick diamonds and pearls, I mean. Should've seen the ice shining on the wrist. Now money ain't a problem, see my dough is like, pull out my bankroll on y'all dudes like, off the blue step from 210 like, money wanna beat my blueprints, I'm like, had to hit the brake on y'all brothers like, brothers getting bagged on my block like, come home within a half an hour like, fuck like they had the manpower like, more so I rip your soul, so I live the fast flight, come through with the phone slow like, whoa, my people like dough, like Joe, nitro, like flow, nice clothes, like whoa, he's paying with like whoa, now I'm Doc Strange in the range like whoa, the mouth and I was such a range like whoa, plus I'm getting for the chick like whoa, fingernail brother H like whoa, Team Force, 10 chicks like whoa, 9-9 Jag Vince Coupe like whoa, you keep them cheese lines on your block like whoa, through your window money like whoa, love to see me do this sonny like whoa, brothers put me through this sonny like whoa, so I'ma go toe to toe, blow for blow like whoa, and rip your torso, so I live the fast life, come through in the full slow like whoa, my people like yo, nitro, nitro, like flow, nice flow, like whoa. G.Dep, spit fire like bust 2 shots through your tire like tying up the getaway driver like fronting like a lava like get electrified, try to touch it like beach raw, might lose your arm like got the detonator in my palm like 3, 2, 1, hit the bomb like I'm a beast, born in the belly like excursion, stolen Pirellis like I don't think it's nothing y'all can tell me that's so I'ma just wreck the show, get the dough like wait, stop the tape, I live a fast life and I only stop for cake like my niggas get dough, get low, hit flow, hit hoes, hit flows like